recognizing those students today, and I'd like to call forward Tabitha Green and Carla Diaz to come forward to introduce the students to us. Ladies.
Good evening. My name is Tabitha Green, and this is Carla Diaz, and we represent the city's Diversity Leadership Council. We're here today to present the city's 2019 poster contest winners. This is the 17th year of our poster contest, and it remains our most successful outreach endeavor. Our goal is to help all participants understand the meaning of diversity and celebrate it in their lives and in their community. This banner showcasing the winners' artwork will be on display throughout the city buildings, reminding us that through diversity, we build a strong workplace, community, and city.
Good evening. My name is Carla Diaz, and each year this contest is open to the City of Clearwater Parks and Recreation Summer Camp participants who learn diversity as a part of their activity programs. The competition gets tougher every year, making it more difficult to choose the winners. But as you will see, it's clear in the results that the kids understand the importance of diversity. We would like to present to you the 2019 poster contest winners. Prizes were awarded for first, second, and third place in the 6 to 9, 10 to 12, and 13-year-old and older. We also chose overall grand prize winners that we will be announcing in a moment. So first, let's recognize our place winners and their artwork. So please come forward with us when your name is called.
In the 5 to 8-year-old category, our third place goes to Maxwell Gibson, age 6, from the Long Center. And his poster is entitled World at Peace. Second place goes to Aiden Latham, age 8, from the Long Center. Aiden names his work People Holding Hands for the World. Sadly, Aiden and his family moved last week, so they were not able to attend tonight, but I will be mailing him his poster and his ribbon. And then our first place goes to Diego Vargas, age 6, from the Countryside Recreational Center. His image is entitled The Rainbow Sun Garden, and his poster features rainbows and beautiful flowers. Congratulations.
And now for the 9 to 12-year-old category, please come forward with us as your name is called. Third place goes to, sorry if I missed, Deshaya Thornton. Deshaya, right? Come on in here. She's age 12 from the Long Center Recreation Center. And her image is entitled Hand to Hand, and she says, I did 2 hands with vitiligo, and a rainbow came back around. And the second place goes to Brody Conley, age 11, from the Morningside Recreation Center. His image is entitled The Diversity, and his description says, size, color, race, or religion does not matter as long as we treat each other the same that makes us diverse. And now for the first place, please welcome this year's first place winner in the 9 to 12-year-old category is Alicia Patterson. And she's age 12 from the Ross Norton Recreation Center. Their image is entitled "Everyone Has Powers," and the way that she describes her picture is the fire is burning, all the negativity away, and the bubblegum machine shows everyone has powers.
In the 13-year-old and older category, our third place goes to Divinity Black, age 15, from the Morningside Recreation Center. Her poster is entitled Volunteer. Our second place goes to Shelby Smith, age 14, from the North Greenwood Recreation Center. Her image is entitled A Difference is Hand in Hand. And she wrote, "I drew this to show that there's a lot of things that make everyone different, like religion, skin color, disabilities, and where you are from. But that doesn't mean you can't be friends." And our first place winner goes to Danielle Roberts, age 14, from the North Greenwood Recreation Center. She told us, "I drew this because it represents that we are all different. From where you're from, your skin color, eye color, hair texture, whether you have freckles or not, a vitiligo, or dark skin or light skin, we are all one."
All of these young people have done an outstanding job of expressing the meaning of diversity through their art. Each year, we select 2 runners up and a 1 grand prize who receive a gift card and special recognition during celebration before the meeting. For third place, grand prize goes to 11-year-old Brody Conley for diversity. For second place, grand prize goes to 12-year-old Elisha Patterson. And the grand prize winner is 13-year-old Daniel Roberts for his work, The Differences Between Us. Great job. Congratulations to all our winners.
Very good.
Thank you all.
The council's going to come down and take a picture in front here with all the students. On behalf of all of us, congratulations. You know, whether you live in Washington, D.C. or Clearwater, Florida, the message that you're sending to all of us is fantastic. We may be diverse, we may look different, we may speak differently, but we all care about this country and making sure that Clearwater remains bright and beautiful from the bay to the beach. Thank you for teaching us that lesson. Let's go downstairs.
Yeah, you gotta see it. Okay.
Yeah, what? You know what? Should we go over the back? Can y'all get the photo? Is that okay? We have all this campers in here? All right, hold on, before y'all start taking pictures, we're gonna look over here. So y'all think we're only looking at y'all, okay? Now we'll look over here. And now we'll look straight ahead for the professionals. Great. Congratulations. Thank you, Brandon. Council, as was alluded to earlier, Clearwater is the only Coast Guard city in Florida, and we are excited to be able to honor our Coast Guard this month. Actually, the Coast Guard was founded on August the 4th, 1793? 1793. Celebrating its 293rd birthday today, or actually on August the 4th. It was reorganized as the United States Coast Guard in 1915, but it goes back, it's probably the oldest naval operations in the entire country. And we're going to ask the new captain of our air station, Captain McGilly, to come forward with the representatives of the auxiliary and I think Station C and Key, and who else is here? Come on down, everybody. But the captain just took command of the air station, and actually it's his second tour of duty here in Clearwater at Air Station Clearwater. His very first job when he was just in the Coast Guard, right?
Correct.
Was right here flying helicopters.
Flying helicopters. here
Very
in
good.
Florida.
Well, welcome again,
Thank you,
sir.
Mr. Mayor.
So nice to have you here. And to all of y'all, fantastic. Whereas on August the 4th, 1790, the United States Congress authorized the Secretary of Treasury to create a maritime service to enforce custom laws and to prevent smuggling. And whereas the mission of the United States Coast Guard and the men and women of Air Station Clearwater and Station San Key include maritime safety, coastal and port security, and maritime stewardship. And whereas the citizens of the city of Clearwater, as well as those of the entire Tampa Bay area, rely on the members of the United States Coast Guard to ensure the safety of all those who venture out upon the sea. And whereas the city of Clearwater, as the only U.S. Coast Guard city in Florida, is especially appreciative of the members of the U.S. Coast Guard who serve its residents and visitors, and the sacrifices they and their families make in behalf of all the citizens of the United States. Now therefore, I, George N. Creticus, Mayor of the City of Clearwater, on behalf of the Clearwater City Council, in recognition of the 229th birthday of the United States Coast Guard, do hereby proclaim August 2019 to be United States Coast Guard Appreciation Month in the City of Clearwater. Captain, thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, appreciate everything that y'all do. Please go forward and say hello to, who's going to take this one? Oh, yeah. Karen, I think Thank you. And by the way, tomorrow, at the Threshers game, the Threshers are going to recognize the Coast Guard. I think we're going to have 500 members of the Coast Guard will be at the Threshers game, and somebody from the Coast Guard will be throwing out the first pitch.
Watch the step, watch the step. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your installation.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you. God, thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
So men and women of Clearwater, please recognize and thank the Coast Guard. And if you're a business and a coastie comes in to your business, thank them and consider giving them a discount of one kind or another so that they know how much we appreciate the work that they and their families do for all of us here in Clearwater and throughout the Tampa Bay area. Are there any addition or corrections to the minutes of July the 18th?
Move approval. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of July the 18th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Anybody from the public wishing to speak to an item not on the agenda? If so, we ask that you would come forward, give us your name, make sure that you have filled out a card with our city clerk, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. No public comment. We will.
We do.
Yes, sir. Have you filled out a card?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My name's Paul Galliano, and I believe a number of you all received.
Oh, yes, sir. In fact, we have your letter. I was going to Thanks, and we'll turn it over to the clerk so it becomes part of our official record.
Okay. Well, and that actually is why I wrote it as a letter. I'm very much in favor of open government, and one of the ways I've been doing that is to address people like I've written to Pam Akins. She actually guided me on a tour of who I needed to talk to in this process. And in that process, I think I've spoken with a lot of people in the city. The bad news is in the letter. I think it speaks for itself. I've tried as much as I could to stick to a police report that was created by the Clearwater Police Department investigating what they called 2 counts of armed burglary that happened at the Clearwater Air Park. Just so nobody thinks that I'm trying to avoid the fact here, the reason that that hangar was burglarized was my tools were in that hangar, my airplane was in that hangar, and firearms that I work on as a hobby were in that hangar as well. I thought a place that would be much safer than just about anywhere else I had access to. It's a property that's under 24-hour closed-circuit television. There's a guard there at night. There's key card access, and there's locked doors. So I don't have anything like that at my home. I have a gun safe, and it would probably be easier to get into that than that property. I'd really meant to spend my time, my 3 minutes here, talking about the positive side of things, because there's a lot of positive things about that airport. It's kind of a unique resource that's here. If you all had a 10-foot storm surge in Pinellas County, St. Pete Clearwater Airport and the Coast Guard base would be about 4 feet underwater. Albert Whitted Airport would be underwater, about 4 or 5 feet as well. Your air park would be about 60 feet above water. And it's an incredible resource for this area. And it's part of the reason I'm talking to you all, because I think things could be a lot better there. And I've tried to voice some problems that are there. Today I got a letter from David King, who's sitting here. His lawyers wrote me a letter basically telling me that I should not be speaking to you all. And by you all, I mean, the letter actually calls you all out personally. I'm not supposed to speak to Chief Dan Slaughter, Detective Britton George, who was the lead detective on this case, employees of the city Clearwater, including the mayor, council members, you all are named, manager Bill Horn, and the city attorney Pam Akins. I'm not quite sure why I'm not supposed to speak to you all. I'm basically going to quote very briefly some things that are in the police report. That's the report I ask you all to refer to. And I don't consider it to be, as the letter says, where does it go here? Misleading information, outright false and unsubstantiated statements and allegations. So if you all think, I think I've just about run out of time. Can I just read something real briefly and go on?
You have 3 minutes.
Okay. I don't think statements in a police report, which is a public document, constitute, I don't have 3 more minutes.
No, not 3 more minutes. I didn't mean 3 more minutes. You have 3 minutes total.
I'm done then.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, but we do have your letter, and it is on file.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public wishing to speak? Again, have you filled out a card?
My name is Darren Whitley, 3046 Grandview Avenue, Clearwater. This is concerning the connections to the city water sewer system. It seems like out of everybody, I paid my $900 back on January 19th. Today's August 1st. I seem to be the only house out of 180 that has not been connected. I've dealt with Ivan, the engineer, David Porter, and they all seem to keep giving me excuses why they can't do it. I have a letter here from King Engineering. I can show you that. David Porter blaming it on King Engineering, and I've talked to King Engineering, and they said they could do it. I've talked to Kenny, the plumber for Family Plumbing. His crew came out and said they'd do it because my septic tank is underneath my porch by my bedroom. So when they're doing the sewer water hookups, I guess mine's harder to do, but I didn't think when they bid the job that they were going to pick and choose who they wanted to do. I'm here today just because I keep calling people and I get no answers from nobody, and it's frustrating. Like last night when it rained, I have a hard time, flushing my toilets, taking a shower, and all that. I don't know. I guess you guys don't respond, or I don't know how this goes. I've never been here, but just just want to try to get some answers while I'm the only one out of 180 houses that has not been hooked up. I guess
Well, we have your name and information. Mr. Maxwell has made note, and somebody will be in touch with you tomorrow, sir.
okay, thank you.
Okay? Anybody else from the public wishing to speak to an item not on the agenda? If not, I will close public comment and move on to agenda item 7.1. Mr. Maxwell?
It's declare surplus for the purpose of donation for development of affordable housing, real property located at 1529 South Washington. Approve the real property donation agreement between the city and Habitat for Humanity of Pinellas County, Inc., and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same, together with all other instruments required to effect closing. Mr. Lane.
Chuck Lane, Assistant Director, Economic Development and Housing Department. This property is located in Clearwater's Lake Bellevue neighborhood. The city acquired this parcel earlier this year through foreclosure of a code lien. The property is identified on the list of city-owned properties that may be available for affordable housing. Council approved that list earlier this year in June, in fact. The property will be donated to Habitat for Humanity to build a single-family home on the lot. The home will, of course, be homeowner occupied. I'll take questions, please.
Any questions of staff on agenda item 7.1? Mr.
I
Condon?
have a question about the name of Habitat for Humanity. They have changed the name in the last few months.
Right.
And I think added West Pasco County. Is that right?
That's correct.
Just want to make sure that gets in the record or an amendment, whatever we have to do.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in our information. It's just Pinellas County.
Okay.
Okay? Thanks, Mr. Condon. Any other questions of staff? Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 7.1?
Move approval of agenda item 7.1.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve agenda item 7.1. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 7.2.
Approve the City of Clearwater's fiscal year 2019-2020 annual action plan, which is the fourth action plan of the 2016 to 2017 to FY 2019 to 2020 four-year consolidated plan to implement the goals and objectives set forth in the consolidated plan and authorize the appropriate officials to enter into agreements with HUD and organizations approved for funding, together with authorization to execute administrative adjustments to same as needed. Mr. Lane.
I'm going to use a brief PowerPoint to present to you the Housing Division's proposed annual action plan for the coming fiscal year. As you know, we receive federal and state funds, and we still have funds that were created by an allocation from Pinellas County. However, this plan includes only the federal funds. So,
Any questions of staff on agenda item 7.2?
He's got a presentation.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was a silence there, so I thought that was my cue.
It was on the screen.
yeah, it's not working.
No idea. Sitting in his,
I guess if I started at the beginning, that would have helped. The City of Clearwater receives Home Investment Partnership Program funds and Community Development Block Grant funds, CDBG, from HUD, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. We're required to submit a consolidated plan outlining the goals and objectives for our administration of these funds. The council approved a four-year consolidated plan in 2016. Under that plan, we're required to submit an annual action plan, of course, each year. These plans supplement one another. The consolidated plan establishes goals and objectives over a four-year period, and the annual action plan identifies projects and activities that are in line with those goals and objectives to be done in a given year. We're now entering the final year of the four-year consolidated plan. Staff will begin working on a five-year consolidated plan later this year. We'll present that plan to council at this time next year. The work we do in the Housing Division can be boiled down into these four categories. We use these funds to provide and preserve affordable housing. Our down payment assistance program and our home rehabilitation program fall into these objectives, as well as new construction of affordable housing. We're able to fund nonprofits that provide services to residents in these income categories. We can help these organizations by contributing towards operations or with facilities improvements. We also have an economic development objective where we have a facade program and we assist microenterprise through our partnerships. We'll be looking for ways to expand our activity under the economic development objective as we create our new consolidated plan. As you might expect, HUD has a very prescribed process that we need to follow to create an annual action plan. These are some of the steps we've already taken. We received 22 applications for funding. All applications fell in line with our objectives and met federal requirements. We seated a technical review committee to help us with some of the funding distributions. The proposed annual action plan provides for funding at some level for all 22 applicants. This slide shows the remainder of the process. On July 9th, we presented the annual action plan to the Neighborhood and Affordable Housing Advisory Board. They passed a motion unanimously recommending council approval of the plan. Following council approval, you can see we have some remaining steps. We'll be able to begin distributing funds at the beginning of fiscal on October 1. These are our home and CDBG entitlements for the coming year. As you can see, it's a very slight increase over the previous year. Public services is by far the most competitive element in our annual action plan process. We're limited to spending 15% of our CDBG entitlement on public services. This year, that amount is $114,606. The total requested amount for the 13 public service applicants was over $250,000. This is where we use a technical review committee to help us distribute these funds equitably. Here are the public service applicants and the funding levels each requested versus the funding levels recommended by staff in the annual action plan. The technical review committee ranked each application, and we then placed them into a predetermined funding matrix where the top 3 received the highest level of funding and the second and third levels received progressively less. You can see that the total is $104,103. All of these providers have a successful history of providing services in Clearwater. Overall, I believe our public service program provides for a very diverse array of public services that are needed for our Clearwater residents. Here are the remainder of the public service allocations. These 3 organizations will be providing homeowner counseling. We base these allocations on previous activity. We've had this activity for several years, and we found that each organization typically spends between $3,000 and $3,500 on this activity. We received 3 applications for public facilities projects, and we have 1 pending. Unlike public service applications, which we accept only through the annual application process, we accept public facilities applications year-round. These are the proposed facility projects. They total just under $300,000. And again, you see some very well-established organizations on this slide. The footnote there at the bottom, we have 2 inspection firms that help us with project oversight. So we set aside $3,000 for each project. We're able to take 20% of our CDBG allocation and 10% of our home allocation to fund salaries of housing division staff. You can see this amount is about $191,000. Not shown on the slide, we're able to take a percentage of program income for salaries as well. Program income, of course, is any revenue received through the repayment of loans. This slide shows our proposed expenditures for our economic development activity. Tampa Bay Black Business Investment Corporation and Prospera provide technical assistance to Clearwater business owners and hopeful business owners that qualify under CDBG regulations. We've managed a facade program for several years now. You may remember this program recently helped Clearwater Brewing Company open their doors for business on North Fort Harrison Avenue earlier this year. We received four applications under our housing pool program. You can see we have 2 firms that process down payment assistance loans for us. The other 2 projects you see are housing development proposals that are on yet to be determined sites. If they do come to fruition, these projects will require council approval because of the level of funding commitment. We do plan a lot more housing projects than those 2 projects. We accept housing pool applications throughout the year. So more often than not, housing projects that we fund are not identified in the annual action plan. While future housing projects are not all identified in the plan, you can see we have funding available. Any housing projects that come forward will be captured under one of these 5 categories. So CHODO is an acronym for Community Housing Development Organization. We've always been required to spend 15% annually of our home allocation on a project developed by a CHODO. This is really HUD's way of encouraging cities to work with small housing development firms that have a connection with the local community. Over the last several years, we've met this commitment through our partnership with Bright Community Trust. I think some of you viewed a project last week that they completed on Gilbert Street. HUD has suspended this requirement for the coming year, but should a project come forward that meets CHODO requirements, we will certainly consider it. So to view the annual action plan, anyone is able to view the annual action plan on our website, shown on the screen, which is myclearwater.com/affordable housing. Should anyone prefer to view a hard copy, they can view it at the Economic Development and Housing Office at 600 Cleveland Street on the 6th floor. And that concludes my presentation. I'll take questions, please.
Any questions? Mr. Pugliese.
One question. Though not directly related to this, I suspect if successful, we'll be talking in the future about the proposed 3-way partnership, City of Clearwater School Board Homeless Emergency Project on the school fundamental property and adjoining. Can you give us any update on other than what's been reported?
I think the recent newspaper articles were a pretty good update to date. It's conceptual, but we have 3 very willing partners, and it appears to be something that will move forward. We'll certainly keep you posted. Exciting project.
I'm very excited about it because that partnership with the school board, and it's about a hand up, not a handout, and if you can get them young and get the kids in school, get the help they need, as well as housing. So it's a very, I think it will be a good model to follow across the country. So,
Great.
yeah.
Mr. Kondo.
I was going to ask, don't you think it's overdue a thank you to you and the folks that work with you for all of the work that you do? Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Kondo.
No, okay. Help us out, because we hear all the time that we don't do enough that there's an affordable housing shortage, in Clearwater, throughout the Tampa Bay area, that a lot of our employees don't live in Clearwater because they have to commute for affordable housing, that we have an older housing stock. Explain a little bit more, if you can, how these programs, this program in particular, helps address that issue, and what else are we doing as a community? I noticed most of the agencies, the listings that you had were agencies, and they don't necessarily go out and build houses. So help us understand what we're doing to help alleviate that problem a little better than if you
The
can.
annual action plan is really, it's really geared towards the community development side because of the limited funding. It includes the housing component as well. There's less detail in it because, like I said, we do take those housing projects throughout the year. Now, there's different activities we have under housing. We have a down payment assistance program, which allows people to buy homes who otherwise couldn't get that funding, couldn't get that loan. Our homeowner rehabilitation program, we deal with a lot of elderly folks in that program, and we go in and we do a rehabilitation on their home and get it code compliant and make it decent housing. We have new construction. Habitat for Humanity is a huge partner of ours. And they build affordable housing for people at 80% or below of area median income. And we preserve these housing. We preserve them as affordable through land use restriction agreements. So when that person sells that home, they have to sell it to someone else that qualifies. So they can't just flip that home, make their money, and walk away. Same thing with multifamily rental projects. When we're involved with that, we put land use restrictions on the units, so they can only be rented to certain people that qualify. And we have to monitor all this. It's a huge undertaking by staff to make sure that we're following all the rules, and all of our partners are following the rules. And I think our staff does a great job at doing that.
Explain, you brought up the community trust program. tell us exactly what that property was like, why we went in, made it available for community trust, and now the value of that property on Milton Street.
Bright Community Trust has a very unique model for us. What they do is they go and they find homes typically that have been foreclosed on and are really run down. And they come to us and we assist them in acquiring the property and funding a rehabilitation of the property. And then what they do is they take that property and they put it in a land trust. And what that does is that reduces the value of the land as it's appraised. So now it becomes more affordable. A $170,000 home might be a $155,000 home. So that move makes it affordable. And then they go out and they find a buyer that qualifies, which in this day and age is not an easy task. Under 80% of area median income, by all accounts, affordability is not spending more than 30% of your income on housing. So at 80% or below, you're looking at $900, $800 a month. And a mortgage at that is very difficult. So home ownership is very difficult under these programs, which is why Habitat really comes into play. They have a zero interest loan, so they take a $1,200 mortgage and they turn it into a $850 mortgage because there's no interest. So they're a very good partner of ours, and we have other partners as well. They're certainly not the only one.
Final comment, if I may.
No, you'll make a comment late when we vote on this, if you have a
Okay.
question.
Well, the only thing I was going to ask him, because there's a big misunderstanding about the Clearwater Housing Authority, how that's not really a board appointed by us, and this might be an opportunity
Okay.
to explain that to the citizens. Hey, Jeremy?
Clearwater Housing Authority plays a different role than us.
Right.
They're not affiliated with the city. We work closely with them. They deal more with voucher-based housing, which we don't. So.
But I've personally gotten phone calls where it's the city of Clearwater Housing Authority. How come they can't assist? It's a different entity appointed by different,
Yes.
it's not really associated or work with us in
Right.
this particular program.
Correct.
Right.
That's correct.
Any other questions? Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 7.2?
Move approval of agenda item 7.2. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve agenda item 7.2. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 8.1 is second reading. Ms. Aiken.
Ordinance number 9283-19, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan of the city to change the land use designation for certain real properties located generally on the south side of Merrill Avenue, 705 feet west of McMullen Booth Road, whose post office addresses are 3003 Merrill Avenue, 3025 Merrill Avenue, and 510 Moss Avenue, all within Clearwater, Florida, 33759, from residential low RL to residential urban RU, providing an effective date.
Make a motion to adopt ordinance 9283-19 on second reading.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt ordinance 9283-19 on second reading. Anybody from the public to speak to this motion? Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 8.2, Ms. Call.
Ordinance number 9287-19, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, annexing certain unaddressed real property located approximately 230 feet north of Pine Place and approximately 1/4 mile east of North Highland Avenue, Clearwater, Florida, 33755, into the corporate limits of the city and redefining boundary lines of the city to include said addition, providing an effective date.
I would move to adopt ordinance 9287-19 on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt ordinance 9287-19 on second reading. Anybody from the public speak to this motion? Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 8.3, Ms. Aiken.
Ordinance number 9288-19, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan of the city to designate the land use for certain unaddressed real property located approximately 230 feet north of Pine Place and approximately 1/4 mile east of North Highland Avenue, Clearwater, Florida, 33755, upon annexation into the City of Clearwater as residential urban RU, providing an effective date.
Move to adopt ordinance 9288-19 on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt ordinance 9288-19 on second reading. Anybody from the public to speak to this motion? Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 8.4, Ms. Call.
Ordinance number 9289-19, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, amending the zoning atlas of the city by zoning certain unaddressed real property located approximately 230 feet north of Pine Place and approximately 1/4 mile east of North Highland Avenue, Clearwater, Florida 33755, upon annexation to the City of Clearwater's low-medium density residential, LMDR, providing an effective date.
I move that we adopt ordinance 9289-19 on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt ordinance 9289-19 on second reading. Anybody from the public speak to this motion? Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 8.5, Ms. Call.
I believe
Oh,
it
Ms.
was
Aiken.
mine. Ordinance number 9290-19, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, annexing certain real properties located generally north of Drew Street, south of State Road 590, and within 1/4 mile west of North McMullen Booth Road, whose post office addresses are 3053 Terrace View Lane and 815 Glen Oak Avenue East, all within Clearwater, Florida 33759, into the corporate limits of the city and redefining the boundary lines of the city to include said additions, providing an effective date.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 9290-19 on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt ordinance 9290-19 on second reading. Anybody from the public speak to this motion? Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 8.6, Ms. Call.
Ordinance number 9291-19, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan of the city to designate the land use for certain real properties located generally north of Drew Street, south of State Road 590, and within 1/4 mile west of North McMullen Booth Road, whose post office addresses are 3053 Terrace View Lane and 815 Glen Oak Avenue East, all within Clearwater, Florida 33759, upon annexation to the City of Clearwater's residential low RL, providing an effective date.
I would move to adopt ordinance number 9291-19 on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt ordinance 9291-19 on second reading. Anybody from the public speak to this motion? Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 8.7, Ms. Aiken.
Ordinance number 9292-19, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, amending the zoning atlas of the city by zoning certain real properties located generally north of Drew Street, south of State Road 590, and within 1/4 mile west of North McMullen Booth Road, whose post office addresses are 3053 Terrace View Lane and 815 Glen Oak Avenue East, all within Clearwater, Florida 33759, upon annexation into the City of Clearwater's low-medium density residential, LNDR, providing an effective date.
Move to adopt ordinance 9292-19 on second reading.
Motion's
Second.
been made and seconded to adopt ordinance 9292-19 on second reading. Anybody from the public speak to this motion? Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 9.1, Mr. Maxwell.
Accept the drainage and utility easement from Main 19 LLC for the construction, installation, and maintenance of city utilities on real property located at 26996 US Highway 19 North, and adopt resolution 19-16. Mr. Burzak.
Good evening. Robert Burzak, Real Estate Coordinator. As a condition of vacation ordinance 9247-19, the applicant was required to grant a replacement drainage and utility easement to the city. After the property owner's construction of the facilities was completed, the easement premises location was slightly altered, thus requiring the property owner to grant this new easement. The city engineering department recommends acceptance of this easement.
Any questions of staff on agenda item 9.1? Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 9.1?
Move approval of agenda item 9.1.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.1. Comments, council?
One comment.
Mr. Pogler.
If I may, I mean, at the end of the day, it was not in the right place, and so the owner had to grant us additional easement.
Correct.
May I ask who's to blame for that?
Who the what?
Who's to blame for that? I mean, whose transit was off?
It's the developer. I mean, when they installed the new water main, it was
So let me ask,
It was slightly off.
so the next question would be, should the owner not grant an easement, what would have happened?
Well, they will be required to grant the easement for the ordinance.
They couldn't have went to court and sued for money for taking some of their property? I mean, they granted an easement. I was just wondering what,
The existing easement is still in place. This new easement just covers
more of his property.
more of his property.
All right. Thanks.
And this,
Mr. Condiff?
this property is where BJ's is building their
Correct, BJ's
gas
Hotel.
station, right?
Correct.
All right.
Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 9.1? Motion has been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.1. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Ms. Call?
Resolution number 19-16, a resolution of the City of Clearwater, Florida, accepting a drainage and utility easement from Main 19 LLC for the construction, installation, and maintenance of city utility facilities, providing an effective date.
Motion to adopt resolution 19-16.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt resolution 19-16. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 9.2, Mr. Maxwell.
Accept a sidewalk easement from the property owners for the installation, repair, and maintenance of a sidewalk on real property located at 1538 Oakwood Street, and adopt resolution 19-20. Mr. Burzak.
The sidewalk easement provides for public use of the sidewalk and city property rights for maintenance, repair, and replacement of the sidewalk as the site is developed for a single-family home. Questions?
Any questions of staff on agenda item 9.2? Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 9.2?
Move to adopt resolution
No,
19.
no,
I'm sorry. was there-
Approve 9.2.
Right, 9.2.
Oh. Move to approve agenda item 9.2.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.2. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Ms. Aiken.
Resolution number 19-20, a resolution of the City of Clearwater, Florida, accepting a sidewalk easement from Seth W. Levy and Samantha D. Levy for installation, repair, and maintenance of a sidewalk, providing an effective date.
Move approval of resolution 1920.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adopt resolution 19-20. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 9.3.
Accept a 5-foot utility easement from the property owners for the construction, installation, and maintenance of facilities on real property located at 1593 Jasmine Way, and adopt resolution 19-21. Mr. Burzak.
The utility easement grants the city rights for construction, installation, and maintenance of facilities within the easement area as the site is developed for a single-family home.
Any questions of staff on agenda item 9.3? Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 9.3?
Move approval of agenda item 9.3. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.3. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Ms. Call.
Resolution 19-21, a resolution of the City of Clearwater, Florida, accepting utility easement from Adelie Song, Zhang, and Blong Yang from the construction, installation, and maintenance of city utility facilities, providing an effective date.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 19-21.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt resolution 19-21. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 9.4, Mr. Maxwell.
Approve a 2-year agreement and a work order to Jones Edmonds and Associates, Inc. of Tampa, Florida, in the amount of $2,090,228 for Marshall Street Water Reclamation Facility, influent pump station, and headworks replacement project, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same. Mr. Brown.
Good evening. My name is Jeremy Brown. I'm the engineering manager for utilities. Mayor, Council, you may recall we discussed this project a few weeks ago during one-on-ones. Its purpose is to replace the aging influent pump station and headworks located at the Marshall Street Water Reclamation Facility. Work also includes a new odor control system and an equalization tank that will be used to help manage flows during storm events. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Questions for staff on agenda item 9.4. Mr. Albritton.
I have Are you going to, is this facility's not going down? I mean, you're going to be running the facility and then doing the improvements and then making a switch at some point?
That's correct, that's correct. Coordinating the switch is a main component of the design, actually.
Okay.
Mr. Kondo.
And these funds have already been budgeted.
That's correct. Public Utilities already has funds, thank you. And it is a time and materials contract as well, not to exceed.
Any other questions, council? Anybody? Mr. Pogler.
Just as a second thought, so this extra capacity storage will prevent us from having stormwater. So hopefully,
I wouldn't use the word prevent. I don't know what the future holds. But the idea is when you do have a lot of flows coming in, this will help you basically move some of those flows off to the side, if you will, into this tank while you treat the flows. And then once the rain event goes away, the flows slow back down. You then treat what was in the tank.
good, thanks.
Any other questions, council? Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 9.4?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council members, I'm Bill
Fill out a
Johnson. I did not fill out a card, but I will. I saw this on the agenda item, and it recalled the previous major expenditures that were invested in this when we had the plant failure, and I was surprised that some of these aspects were not addressed as that, because that plant, as I recall, was down for 9 months in a temporary bypass mode, and so I'm kind of surprised that so much work has to be done so soon after that major investment. The other thing that I would ask about is, and I looked through the documentation, I didn't see whether this design is going to be considering resiliency coming forward and the possible need to elevate some of those structures in that plant. And then I appreciate Dr. Cundiff asking about the budget for this project, but I'm not sure that your answer was included the budget for the actual construction build-out of the estimated project. So those are my questions, comments. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Please remember to fill out a card, Mr. Johnson. Anybody else from the public wishing to speak to agenda item 9.4?
Move approval of agenda item 9.4.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.4. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 9.5.
Authorize the award of invitation to bid 42-9 fire hydrants and parts to Empire Pipe, Orlando, Florida, in the annual not-to-exceed amount of $140,000, with 2 one-year extensions at the city's discretion, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same. Mr. Gardner.
Richard Gardner. Good evening, Richard Gardner, Assistant Director of Public Utilities. This is to replenish our fire hydrant supply. We use these hydrants if they get damaged, a car drives into them, or that for whatever reason we can't repair them, we'll just need to replace it with the hydrants.
Questions of staff on agenda item 9.5?
It says right in the title, but I'm just verifying for public. This is a not-to-exceed number. We're not necessarily going to, hopefully not have to spend this much money to replace fire hydrants, but it will not exceed that number.
That's correct. Hopefully.
Without further authorization.
That's correct.
One question.
Mr. Pogler.
How much is one fire hydrant?
It depends on the size.
Seems like a lot of fire hydrants for a one-year contract. I mean, do we have that many failing throughout the city? I mean,
So they're different sizes depending on the height, how much you got varying, the water main versus the ground.
right.
So the most expensive one is $1,384.
Most expensive?
Again, this is not to exceed. We hope not to spend this money. We want to be prepared.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions, council? Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 9.5?
Move approval of agenda item 9.5.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.5. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 9.6, Mr. Maxwell.
Approve renewal of license and maintenance services agreement with Acela, Inc. of San Ramon, California for an amount not to exceed $800,000 for land management and public engagement software licensing and maintenance, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same. Mr. Williams.
Good evening. My name is Jeremy Williams with the Information Technology Department. The request here is about the Acela, which is our land management system and civic engagement system, and it is a 5-year agreement.
Questions for staff on 9.6? Mr. Kondo.
This is a system that's already in use,
Correct, yes. 2009 we put it in.
and Excel maintains it.
We maintain it with their support. So that's really what we're paying for, support. So when there are version upgrades, they provide those at no cost. And also when we run into problems, we have them as a support mechanism.
If I could follow that up, do you anticipate spending that $800,000?
You'd have to see the year-to-year breakdown. It's pretty close to that. Yeah, for the 5 years. I don't remember exactly, but the licensing is around 150 per year, but it increases in small increments. So it ends up being pretty close to that.
Mr. Albrecht.
Well, this is more, I guess, in regard to exactly what a Acela can do now. Are we upgrading it to accept bigger electronic plans for the building department?
Absolutely, we are, yes.
Is that part of this?
No, that's an add-on product. And that's something that you've previously approved and that we're working on. And that will accept the intake of those electronic document and reviews from the contractors, really from anybody, but would also accept those large documents, correct?
Okay, but this is mostly a licensing and support
Basically.
amount?
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Mr. Poglace.
Thank you, Mayor. How long have we, because I think just first came on the council in 2012 when we were dying for this system. Is that about, how many years has this been online?
Acela has been online. Our initial contract with Acela was signed in 2009. And I don't remember exactly the go-live date, but I would approximate around 2010 as we did the conversion.
So if I could get maybe for just future, provide council the information, how much did it initially cost and how much maintenance software money have we put in it since 2010? It'd be interesting to know because I know it's a 5-year contract, but it would be nice to see what it's, I know it has a great value to our population, but it would be helpful just to know.
We'll add a cost of ownership in the future.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Council? Talk to us a moment about, is this going to help address the hacking and that's been making news?
Unfortunately, it's not related to ransomware or hacking. It is another system that is exposed to the internet, but it's as secure as anything else is going to be. And we strive to make all of our systems as secure as possible.
Are we looking to upgrade that system then to prevent the hacking and confidentiality of?
Yeah, ransomware is a hot topic right now. It is unrelated to this particular system, but we are doing everything we can to make sure that we're as locked down as possible.
Okay. Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 9.6?
Motion to approve agenda item 9.6?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.6. Comments, council? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 9.7, Mr. Maxwell.
Approve an event agreement between the city and Beasley Media Group LLC for Maxima's Hispanic Heritage Concert to be held at Coachman Park on October 13th, 2019, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same. Mr. Cook.
Thank you, Duncan. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Chris Cook, Parks and Recreation, Events and Athletics Manager. This is the 14th annual event working with Maxima on this Hispanic Heritage event. The event was co-sponsored back on April 18th in support of $16,000 for Parks and Rec, adding an additional support of $16,000 for the Clearwater Police Department services at the event. The agreement is to solidify the partnership between Beasley and the city by sharing risk between both parties and outlining its responsibilities. Expenses and revenues are split into 3 buckets.
The Beasley will handle sponsorships and all the expenses and revenues related to sponsors. City will handle food and beverage expenses and revenues. Third bucket is to cover event production expenses through the ticket proceeds. After expenses, any balance or deficit would be split 50-50. The forecasted break-even point is at around 8,000 tickets sold we have, and historically this event has sold well over 8,000 tickets. With that, I'd be happy to answer.
Questions for staff on agenda item 9.7? Anybody from the public to speak to agenda item 9.7? Motion?
Move approval of agenda item 9.7.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.7. Comments, council? Mr. Poglaze.
I recall this is going to a one-day event now too. Is that correct?
Yeah, Kevin Dunbar, Director of Parks and Recreation. It has always been a one-day event. Last year, we tried it as a two-day event, and so we're back to a one-day event again.
Thanks.
Any other comments? Council, thank y'all for working with us at our last meeting to get permission, to Beasley to go forward with this as we seek to, being that we had diversity, this is a key example of diversity in the city of Clearwater to make our Hispanic community feel like, they are help make Clearwater bright and beautiful. And thank you to the staff for working with Beasley and the radio station on that. Motion has been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.7. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 9.8, Ms. Call.
Reappoint Candace Hayes to the Sister Cities Advisory Board as the Clearwater Sister Cities, Inc. representative with term to expire July 31st, 2023. Council members, in your agenda pack, you had the application for Ms. Hayes. She is eligible to be reappointed, and she was the only one on file.
Questions for staff? Anybody from the public speak to agenda? I'm sorry.
Well, I don't have it's not a question.
Okay. Anybody from the public speak to agenda item 9.8? Motion?
Move approval of agenda item 9.8.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.8. Comments, council. Mr. Hamilton.
Yeah, all I can say is, as the council's representative on the Sister Cities Advisory Board, Ms. Hayes is an amazing member. She's got energy and ideas, and her focus is amazing, and it is a no-brainer to reappoint her to that board.
Very good. And very true. Motion's been made and seconded to approve agenda item 9.8. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Maxwell, do you have anything further for the council?
I do not.
Ms. Aiken, do you have anything further for the council?
No, sir.
Closing comments, Mr. Kundo.
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Poglaze.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Albritton.
Not really. Thank you.
Well, let's pretend. Mr. Hamilton.
I'll keep the streak going.
Okay. Lots of events going on the beach at Pier 60 with movies at the Capitol Theater on August the 9th. Remember that you can register for swim lessons on August the 10th. Sunsets at Pier 60 are going on. School is going to start on August the 14th, the same day as our next meeting. So please keep that in mind. Our summer camps have been fantastic this year, and we thank our staff and especially the participants for making them so successful. Need to congratulate Clearwater Gas at the National American Public Gas Association meeting, which just took place this week. Clearwater Gas received an award for its sales and marketing department for partnering with Habitat for Humanity to make sure that all the Habitat homes in the area are now available as gas. The customer, the homeowner can have access to gas, and that was a great feather in the cap for our Clearwater gas system. And also on a tragic note, please remember, ladies and gentlemen, that if you're on the beach, on the golf course, or wherever you are, lightning strikes. Please don't take a chance. If you're on the beach especially, seek cover immediately. We don't like having tragedies like that, not only here in Clearwater, but really throughout the county. Thank y'all for spending part of your evening with us tonight. Our next meeting will be on Wednesday, August the 14th at 6 p.m., and we will have a work session on the Monday before, August the 12th, at 9 o'clock in the morning. With that, we are adjourned.